So this message is for those of you that love God but have been running away from your purpose. And the reason I am more than qualified to speak to you, because I am someone that ran away from my purpose for over a decade, okay? I sought after God like crazy. I love the Lord. But yet, I still ran away from my purpose. And it was for this reason and this main reason. I did not want to do with church folks. I did not want to deal with, like, I literally at 19 years old, I cried out to God and I told God, if you love me, you will not have me deal with these people. I don't like the magnifying glass. I don't like the culture. I don't like the mindset. I don't like the energy. I don't like the vibes. I don't like the spirit. I don't like any of that. But I love God. And as someone that has been walking with the Lord for years, there have been times where people have automatically tried to project their thinking of what someone that loves God or has faith is. I don't even call myself a Christian, to be quite frank with you. You know, I'm a believer. I'm a woman of God. I'm a woman of faith. But even that title Christian feels so cringe to me. Right? And I know people can come here, oh, Christian means this. No, this is not the opportunity for you to argue, because I know you church folks, again, you guys are going to come in here with all that energy. Again, I'm just telling you guys the truth so that I can get to this point that I'm about to make right now. When you love God and your desire, your heart's desire is to please Him, I don't care how much you make up in your mind that you are going to resist purpose. If you are going to resist purpose, you might as well walk away from having a relationship with God altogether. Because I am telling you, if you pursue God, He will make sure you arrive at the destination of purpose. I am a living testament to this. As much as I resisted, like there's this like trend on social media of this girl, and I love this sound, and he was like, don't go. She goes, don't beg me. Don't go. Don't beg me. And she's like, okay, listen, that's the game you are playing with God, okay? Because if you think you are not going to arrive at purpose, you are crazy. You will arrive there. If you pursue God and you think that you are going to resist having a responsibility in the kingdom that He called you to, you have lost your mind. Let me explain something to you, especially if you're in a place right now where you're crying out to God and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, God, especially if you're being mistreated, you're being misjudged, misunderstood. You're just giving, but you're not receiving, or there's a mix up there. Let me help you. Now, here's where I messed up at. Because of that Christian culture, I automatically thought that if I was in purpose, in alignment with Him, that having a responsibility in the kingdom mean I had to be involved in the church. Because there's, you know, this obsession with volunteers, and don't even get me started with that, okay? But people don't train you, unfortunately, in the church environment to deploy you to go do what God called you to do. If you get stuck in a religious church environment, they will deploy you into fitting in and filling what they have. Oh, no, we need a drummer. Oh, God called you to go out there and be a businessman. No, you are our drummer. That's what we need right now. So that's what God called you to do. There's this type of manipulation and suppression of people's gifts. And if they do see that you do have a gift, they don't deploy you to go maximize it in society. They try to control it and keep it in the church because there's so much need there, right? Whereas if you went out there and deployed it into society the way God commanded you to, if that is His purpose for you, you could have been such a better help for that ministry. But again, people want instant gratification, so they ain't trying to hear, you know, be a part of God's long game and His long plan. So because I was blessed with the gift of discernment and I received wisdom at a very young age, I'm able to see things. Now, I'm not a prophet, but I have prophetic abilities. But because I'm able to see this and God gave me this gift, I didn't know how to manage it properly. So instead, when I would see things that the Lord allowed me to see, I would run away. I would run away. So I'm like, oh snap, that's what they're gonna do? Oh no, I'm getting away from that. I'm staying far, far, far away from that. When the Lord really gave me that wisdom so that I can go to Him and lean on Him, you know, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me, thy rod and thy staff, it comforts me. Instead of me leaning on Him in that way, I ran away completely. I don't want no parts of them. Now, I'm not a fool now. I'm running away from them. I'm not running away from God, okay? I am going to stick by my Lord's side. But here I am out out there in society with my relationship with the Lord and this desire to please him in my heart and purpose within my belly. So God is naturally, as you're pursuing him, he's going to create in you a clean heart. The more and more he creates in you a clean heart, the more and more you're going to want to do his will. But I'm resistant to walking in purpose. So guess what happens with trap I place myself in? So let me paint the picture for you. So I'm not walking under the umbrella that he called me to, the office that I'm supposed to operate in. Instead, I'm utilizing the gifts because the gifts and callings are irrevocable. So no matter what place I was in, there was always this pull on me to pour into people. No matter where I was, I'm telling you, like, it is uncontrollable. When you have a gift on you or a calling on you and it's activated, it's like a mom who is nursing and your child is not there. And for you moms that have had babies, you know what I'm talking about, especially if you've nursed. If you're in a public space and another mother's child is crying, your boobs will start pulsating. And for you guys that have gone through that, you know what I'm talking about. It's not your child. However, because that baby is crying and you've already developed the sensation to take care of a child when they're crying, there's this automatic response in your body that feels the need to jump in and take care of the baby. So your boobs will start to swell because that calling, it calls to the part of you that can satisfy it. Y'all hear me out, the wisdom in this. So now let me reveal to you, people like me who think you're going to have this amazing relationship with God and you're going to pursue him, but you're going to be resistant to purpose. Let me show you what that looks like practically. What that means is now, because you have such a sensitivity to the Holy Spirit, you fast, you pray, you seek the Lord, right? You are consecrating yourself. You're doing all that. The only thing is you're resistant to purpose. What's going to happen is your gifts and callings are irrevocable. And the more you pursue God, the more it's going to activate that. So that means that milk is there. So now when you are in a space where somebody is crying or they need that nourishment within you, you're going to automatically swell up and feel the need to dive in. Here's the problem. It's not your baby. So your gifts are going to constantly be activated in spaces where it's not your baby. So what that looks like is you having a life where you feel like you're constantly pouring into people, but God, I've poured and I've poured and I poured and I poured. Where's my reward? Where's my seed? Where's my harvest? No, where's my baby? Your baby is at home. Your baby is at home. And this is what it looks like when we are pursuing God, but we are not allowing ourselves to submit to his purpose. So I had to finally get to the point, stop being resistant, because I kept saying, God, this doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. How do I pour so much and I see the life transformation work that I do? How is it that my reward is not matching up? And I'm constantly working on myself. I'm constantly improving myself, not just professionally, not just spiritually, but personally, like in every area of my life. Like, why isn't like that abundance, that why isn't it really there for the level of outpouring and the level of investing I do? It just wasn't making sense. Oh my gosh. When the Lord revealed to me, it's because you do not want to stand in the office I called you to. The heavens that you're looking for to be open over your head, you have to stand in the office I called you to. So I was activating the gift. Not only was I activating it, I was perfecting it, because I was in these spaces like, okay, the baby needs this. Okay, let me do this. Let me do that. But I have to hand the baby back to its person. I have to hand the baby back to who it belongs to. So that put me in a state where I said, God, I feel like you're treating me like a slave. The Lord was not treating me like a slave. I was operating like a slave because I was not standing in the authority of the office he called me to. So if you are someone who loves God, you pursue him, you seek after him, and yet something is not lining up, you can't figure out what it is, man, listen, if you are resisting purpose, that's your problem right there. I'm telling you, that's your problem right there. And you have to surrender fully and completely and totally to his will. So I had to stop being afraid of the fact that he was going to put me. Man, you see, this is why this church thing is no joke, because look what it did. Over a decade of my life, robbed, because I was running away from those people. All that work I did out there by myself. Imagine if that felt like a safe place for me, like where I would be right now. Anyways, That's on me. That's not on them. But it just sucks the fact that that environment is just that scary to me that I would run so far away from them to the point where I would also miss the blessing that God had for me and he prepared for me years ago. But listen, all things work for the good of those that are in Christ Jesus. Because when you sit down now and you see someone like me, for those of you who have known me for years and you're like, how is she moving so fast? Is because I surrendered. And not only did I surrender, I also was always operating and perfecting my gift and my calling, even though I was not in the office. Some people are operating in an office in a title where they have the responsibility, but they haven't even began to activate the gift. They're operating on their own strength. I was out there seeking God and allowing him to utilize me to help people break free. Now, I was not receiving my reward that I should receive because I was not in the office that that reward belongs to. Now I've surrendered, right, myself to the office I'm supposed to be in. And guys, I'm so grateful it's not a pastor or anything like that, because oh Jesus, boy, it would have been another 10 years. But I'm so happy when I surrendered and he really made it clear to me, like, girl, I was just trying to help you become the coach that you've been the whole time. I was like, you mean what I've been the entire time? It's like, yeah, y'all was doing it for free. My friends will always tell me, when I tell you my sister, my friends, they would sit me down and say, Michelle, you keep doing this thing for free. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, no, I'm just da-da-da-da. But God, what is it? Y'all, a mess, a complete mess. But that's what fear will do to you. That's what misunderstanding, that's what already projecting onto God, thinking that he's going to entrap you the way people are. Like, God is just not these people. That's all I can say to you guys. If you don't hear nothing else from me, God is not them. He is him. All right. So with that being said, what am I saying? What's the entire message here? What's the point? You are not surrendered to the office that God has called you to. And a lot of us are running away from the office because we are afraid that it's going to lead us to the church. And we don't want to be there. We don't want to be in that environment. We don't want to be enslaved. That's just simply put. We do not want to raise our hand and volunteer into whatever slavery trap they got going on. And I'm telling you, that's not what God has for you. Surrender to him and he will position you. He will properly position you. He will put you in the right community. He will put you in the right culture. He will bring the right friends. And because of the indoctrination, we sometimes automatically think that if we surrender to his purpose, that means he's going to throw us. Listen, some of them people, bro, they just lost. It's just sheep. That's not what God is doing to you. He's not trying to take your brain and eat your brain. God's not doing that to you. If anything, he is wising you up. Okay? Trust him. And even if you don't trust him, like you have a hard time leaning into him in that way, like trusting him with your purpose and that he's going to do the right thing with your life if you give him complete and total control. I am telling you, the fact that you are maintaining this relationship with him and the fact that you are seeking after him, fasting and doing all that stuff that you were doing, you're going to end up a decade later and you're going to be standing right in the middle of purpose saying yes, because that means you're going the long way. And the long way is going to wear you out. And finally, you're going to get so tired of going down that long path that you're finally going to surrender. So you're going to surrender either way. But you know how they say you can do it by choice or you can do it by force? God is not forcing you to do it. But the fact that you are pursuing a relationship with him, there's going to be a series of events in your life that are going to occur. And it's probably happening right now. That is going to lead you to the point where you get on your knees and you get humble and you surrender. I'm telling you. You are better off running away from him completely, even though that's a lie. The devil's a liar. But what I'm saying to you, if you think that you are going to maintain this amazing relationship with him and you're not going to arrive smack dab in the middle of purpose, So that's why I was smiling at the beginning of the video, because I'm like, man, did all that just to end up saying yes. Say yes. Say yes, okay? Say yes. Y'all have a great day now. Bye.